What is up, people? Hope you're well. My name is Jonah Gorst. I am part of the youth team. I go to the 6 when church is on, and I'm back again doing morning prayers. I can't believe I'm kind of been on screen for the last kind of 3 weeks, and you're probably getting sick of me, but that's fine. I won't keep you long today. I know it's your bank holiday Monday, lots to do. I think it's sunny. I think it's going to be sunny. It's going to be good. It's going to be fresh. Get out in your garden, have some fun, have a little bit of time with God now, because that's always good. We don't want to miss that. But then get out, have a great bank holiday Monday. But I just want to read to you from Acts 7:39 to 43. That's what we're looking at quickly this morning. And obviously we've been in this kind of little passage for the last couple of days, looking at Stephen and what he was saying. He was doing a little speech at the Sanhedrin, which is great. And he's kind of talking about the stuff that's gone on in the Old Testament, talking about a bit of Moses' story, and this kind of carries on from that a little bit. And I'd just love to read it to you now. So Acts 7:39 to 43 says this: "But our ancestors refused to listen to Moses. They rejected him and wanted to return to Egypt. They told Aaron, 'Make us some gods who can lead us, for we don't know what has become of this Moses, who brought us out of Egypt.' So they made an idol shaped like a calf, and they sacrificed to it and celebrated over this thing they had made. Then God turned away from them and abandoned them to serve the stars of heaven as their gods. In the book of the prophets it is written, Was it to me you were bringing sacrifices and offerings during those 40 years in the wilderness, Israel? No, you carried your pagan gods, the shrine of Molek, the star of your god Rephan, and the images you made to worship them. So I will send you into exile as far away as Babylon." I think it's quite interesting and actually quite timely that this story is being told to us, and we're being made to look at it again here in Acts, and especially in a time such as this. You see, I think it's interesting that the Israelites, they were struggling to see the purpose for their wanderings, the purpose for what they were going through, the kind of the situation that they were in. And I think it's interesting that we too are in a situation where we're not really sure what's going on. We're not really sure like the purpose of this virus. We're not really sure like what the point in it is. And it's interesting that we too find ourselves in a situation right now where we're unsure and we're struggling. And I think this is a great opportunity to just take kind of learn a lesson from what the Israelites went through, and make sure that it's something that doesn't happen to us while we wander in the time that we're wandering in at the moment. One thing that I felt God put on my heart when I was reading this passage was the fact that I think the Israelites were freaking out so much and so worried about what was happening with Moses, and one of the reasons why they ended up turning away from him and focusing on this like golden calf and trying to find idols to worship was because they were out of control of the situation they were in. You see, in Egypt, although they weren't in control of what was happening, they had someone controlling them, so they knew exactly what was going to be happening. They knew what they had to do in that day. And I think that although it sounds insane and it sounds crazy, they missed the control that they were under. They missed being told what to do, and they missed being in a place where they knew exactly what was going to be happening. You see, while they were in the wilderness and while Moses was off and up talking to people and doing his thing, they were out of control. They didn't know what they were doing, and they couldn't cope with that. And I think that God wants us to learn one thing, and I think that when we're in a situation that we're out of control in, the first thing that we do is try and take control. We try and take control of that situation. We try and sort it out, whether whatever that is. But I think God wants us not to take control, but I think He wants us to take courage. You see, I think God wants us to take courage in Him. I think if the Israelites had just trusted in Moses, if they'd taken courage in what he was doing and what God was doing and just trusted the plan, they would have been all right. But it didn't turn out that way, and they kind of messed up, and they bought this calf, and they got a gold statue of this calf, and you know what happened. They started doing crazy stuff. But I think God in this moment doesn't want us to freak out, although we're not sure where we're going. He doesn't want us to try and take control. He wants us to take courage and let God take control. He is in control of this situation, and he just wants to remind you and remind me and remind us as a church and as a city and as a nation that he is in control, and we just need to trust the process and not freak out and not start painting calves gold and doing crazy things like this, because that's not what he wants us to do. He wants to take courage in his plan and what he has got lined up for us, because everything God does is all for good. Not just some things, like I said the other day, not some things, not a few things, everything is done for God's good.